Good morning, good morning. Nice rainy morning. My name is Saida and I'm with TSYon Notary Services. That's my business name. I decided that I wanted to try out becoming a loan signing agent, and this kind of fell in my lap while I was taking an income tax course, and an acquaintance of mine in the classroom told me that she was a loan signing agent. I've been a notary public in the state of Florida, Georgia, and now Tennessee. And I thought that to be a loan signing agent, I didn't know there was a separate training for it. So she told me about this and I was like, oh, I didn't know I had to go through a special training. So she told me to sign up with the NNA and take their course, which I did. I loved the concept. I thought it was a great idea, and it looks like it's a mini treasure hidden in a field. And the more I learned about it, the more it fascinated me. So I decided to put the income taxes to the side and focus on this and learn all that I could about the notary business. So it seems like real estate somehow keeps popping into my life in one way or another. So I'm on my way to do a refinance, a signing, and I just thought perhaps it would be nice to share my personal experiences with you, to tell you what's been going on in my end, because there's a lot of videos that I've watched on YouTube, and I'm so grateful for all the other people that share their experiences, their videos, teach you how to put the documents together. And I believe I'm going to do a video to show you how I put my documents together. I will have to block out some information to keep the information private, but to show you what's working for me. When you're new, don't try to overdo things like the ones that are already expert, because you're just getting started, and it's better to do things methodically until you start getting more familiarized with the documents than to try to do things like the experts who already know what they're doing and end up making a mistake and missing a signature or missing your notary seal somewhere, which happened to me the first time that I was hired as an agent to do a refinance. I actually forgot one minor detail, which is not minor, which I don't hear other notaries talking about, and that is this right here. I'm going to take out my folder just to kind of show you how I have it prepared. I have my UPS envelope ready to go at the end. Thankfully, this one doesn't need scan backs because I'm driving a good distance, so they need me to send this within an hour of the refinance. As you can see, I've already flagged everything, and I'm going to show you how I do that later on. But I have everything already separated, flagged, the paper clipped. Of course, all of this is coming out before I mail it to the company. I actually will mail it in the envelope. I put the client's name up top for them with my business card that I stapled, and I will stick this into this UPS envelope when I mail them out. That way, you know, if they decide that they want to direct hire me, they got my business card with my logo, TSYon Notary Services. So I also didn't want to forget to log it into my notary book. I'm kind of blocking it because I don't want you to see the client's names for privacy reasons. But I'm going to show you kind of what worked for me. But one thing I did want to show you, I'm going to take this one out real quick, and I'm just going to kind of fold it because I don't want to compromise the client's information. But you see that little barcode right there? That is so important. That barcode right there is on most of the documents, and if your document, especially your legal size documents, do not print that, I actually had to go back to the client I had to reprint it because my printer, even though I printed in legal size, it was not printing that barcode on my legal size paper, and I didn't know why. So I had to go and play with the settings and figure it out. And I finally figured out what I was not doing. So rather than putting on legal, I put it on 11 by 17, and voila, it printed properly on my legal size. So the client was nice enough to let me go back. And that's another thing, you want to be quick about going back to get paperwork signed, because it's your job to make sure everything's signed. And if you do not have everything signed, it's your job to quickly, it doesn't matter if you have other assignments, that was your previous assignment and you need to honor that. So the companies will respect you for acknowledging your mistake and going back to get it fixed as soon as possible, and then moving on to your other signings, because you know, I know we're out to make money, but I believe that is first and foremost about providing excellent customer service for your company and the companies that you're representing. And because you want to continue getting jobs, it's not worth messing up one order and then possibly staining your reputation, because those things get put in a database where people review you, and these companies will say don't hire them anymore, you know. So keep a good reputation, because the bed that you make, that's the one you're gonna lie in. That's just my advice, especially if you're new. Another thing I recommend as a new notary, as you can see, I have my NNA briefcase, and I have my notary stamp in here. I have a cheat sheet that I created. Another day I'm gonna go through it, because I'm bilingual, so I did it in English and in Spanish, and I'm gonna show you all what I put on this cheat sheet another day. That's a video for another day. But I'm pretty organized, and I'm gonna share what's in my notary bags, which is my briefcase and my actually bag that I carry with me. You see that little glimpse of the pink bag in the back seat. I'm also working on having a portable printer installed in my vehicle, so that I can use it for business. That way, wherever I'm at, if I don't have time to go back to my office, then I can just stop somewhere and print out of my vehicle. I actually do have an office location on account of the fact that I have an income tax business. Then I have an office, but sometimes it's not practical to go to my office if I'm at distance. So I highly recommend that as you grow your business, that you try to invest in a portable printer. My husband's going to be installing mine, but I have to buy all the equipment. And like people tell you, don't overspend when you're first starting your business, because you're new, you're still learning the field, and this business, how much income you earn depends on where you live. You know, because you can't compare a person that lives in Atlanta or the major metropolitan areas, Florida, you know, California, New York, places where real estate gets bought and sold constantly, because, you know, it's the city, versus living in a small town, which is kind of where I'm at. I'm kind of at a cusp between city, country. So I'm gonna see how well it goes for me here, because I'm still trying to find out how I can land gigs, because I signed up with SnapDocs, which I will talk about another day, and I waited for an hour to get approved for something, and no one would take the assignment. They offered $100 at the beginning. They upped it to $115, and then I looked and they upped it to $165 for the refinance. From the time that I said, hey, I want this, well, guess what? They gave it to another notary. I had to wait another hour for them to find a better qualified notary to do the job that I am well qualified to do. But because I'm new, of course, you're at the bottom of the totem pole, so you're eating the scraps. So with that being said, you have to be patient, you have to be humble, and get the experience. Even if you have to drive, you know, an hour, let's say, to do a signing, and they're paying you $85, for example. Don't just listen to people telling you, oh, you need to renegotiate that. I'm sorry, but when you're new, sometimes you need to be humble and take what you're able to, so that you could get the experience. Once you get the experience after 50 signings, you will be comfortable, you will know the paperwork, you will have studied it, you will have done it so many times that it's going to become second nature to you. But in the beginning, be humble and accept those assignments. And the reason I accepted is because I divided, let's say, $85 by 3 hours, because I said, well, the time is going to take me to prep my paperwork, the time is going to take me to drive an hour, it's going to take me an hour. I give myself up to an hour to go through the paperwork, and if you want to, you can include the hour it's going to take you, you know. So anyway, I divided the 85 by 3, and that still works out to pretty good money per hour, $23 or $20 an hour or something. I have 2 college degrees, and I resigned from working at a hospital that was paying me $12 an hour, with 2 college degrees. And I said, something's not right here. What is it that I can do? Because I'm very overstudied, over-degreed. I was too qualified for certain jobs, and the only ones that I would qualify, they would want to lowball me and pay me little money. And I'm sorry, but I can't have 2 college degrees earning $12 an hour. To be honest with you, I never in my younger days without an education worked for $12 an hour. And I went to school all these years to earn $12 an hour. That kind of hurt my, my ego, because that shouldn't be. But unfortunately, sometimes we're in a place where our educational system has failed us and we have to find other ways. And then I started learning that there's ways to make money, ludicrous income, passive income, without all that education. So the system puts you in college, and I'm not against college because I'm all for studying, getting an education, but the system sets you up to put you in debt, to pay off a debt that's going to take you years to pay off, for a career you're probably never going to see to full fruition. If you do, that's wonderful. And again, I'm not knocking education. What I'm knocking is the setup that they put you in all this debt and not even give you the chance to thrive in your career. So be careful when you go to college, and make sure you pick something not only that you're passionate about, but that is going to generate you good income if you're going to put yourself in debt, right? Because you want to be able to pay that off. So with that being said, I'm heading to my signing. I hope you will enjoy my videos. If you do, hit like, subscribe, click that little notification bell so that you could get notified whenever I post up new videos. I do plan to start sharing my journey with you, show you my personal experiences, because there's a lot of videos that I have seen. I fall asleep sometimes watching these videos, and I admire all that I've learned, but then there's little things that I noticed that don't get discussed, and hopefully I'll get to discuss it from my point of view as a new loan signing agent, notary public, and to show you just what treasures lie behind the power of that stamp. Do not underestimate that stamp. It's not just for $5 acknowledgments and jurats. You actually get to make pretty decent income with that stamp with no college degree. I would say that's worthy of paying attention to see whether this is an opportunity for you, because it might not be for everyone. It's not for everyone. Like my husband's like, I don't know if I could go through all that paperwork, but I love going through the paperwork because I'm very meticulous, I'm very articulate, I pay attention to details. So I look for those signatures, I look for those initials, and I make sure I flag everything. And I learned from my first mistake, and I said, you know what, I'm gonna make sure I double and triple my work before I ship these out or scan them back if it's required. So you just have to learn. If you really want to do something, whatever it is, you apply yourself. You learn as much as you can. Don't overspend in the beginning. To recap on what I said, try to at least establish your EIN, which is free with the IRS. If you have any questions about establishing an EIN for your new business, or want to find out how to get a catchy title, you have questions, please email me. I'm going to put the link on my description box, and reach out to me. Whatever I do know, I'm more than glad to share it with you. And please be patient. You know that I get back to you because I am in the field all day, because I don't only do notary signings, I also conduct verifications for employment. I will talk about that another day. And I'm trying to get into field inspections, so I'm going to be adding field inspections as well, so that I can have a nicely rounded notary business, because you can branch out with your notary business. So another day I will talk about everything you need, how to establish your EIN, whether you need an LLC, touch up on business credit, and about filing your taxes as a notary, what type of things you can deduct, and sharing my knowledge with you in this journey, so that you could be well-rounded, well prepared, and not miss anything during your journey and later on hit a hiccup in the road. So hopefully you'll stick it out with me. I hope you have a blessed day, and I will let you know how this signing went. Peace and blessings to you from TSYon Notary Services.